What a wonderful.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Real. I don't have a voice today. I am
Sultry.
Huh?
Sultry.
It's a little sexy.
Sexy.
I am very excited today because I have a guest that is a friend, and it's so much more fun when you just have a friend on the pod. I have Carly Shapiro today. You might know her from Sister Snacking. You might know her from her TikTok videos. I also feel like people might know you from Tess at this point.
I was just gonna say you might know me from
from
my girlfriend.
Your girlfriend as what's her
Lamb Chop.
Oh yeah, Lamb Chop. Yeah.
97.
Welcome to the pod. I'm so excited to have you.
I'm so excited to be here.
This is like peak entertainment for me because I feel like you have so many stories that we need to dive into.
I got some stories.
You've been through some shit.
I've seen some things. I've come back from some things.
First of all, we need to get it because people are like, how do you guys even know each other? I want to get into how we actually know each other.
When did we meet?
I don't know.
I was thinking about that today.
I don't know. We met probably, was it when our sisters are actually best friends, which is really iconic.
So iconic.
They go to school together at Syracuse, and I don't know when we met.
It must have we must have spoken for the first time when they started.
Right. Right? Because I don't think I
was
knew. I just remember my sister being like, yeah, my friend
2021, 2022?
2021 maybe. I don't know. I just remember my sister being like, oh, I have a friend who's also an influencer. And I was like, oh my God, what kind? She's like, they're Sister Snacking. And I was like, holy shit. And I also feel like back then, I don't know if people knew as much about you guys, but I feel like you guys have blown up since then.
It's been a steady climb. It's been it ebbs and flows on some days, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes there's a week that we're like, oh my God, everyone is talking about us, or quiet days, weeks, you know?
How'd you guys get into that? I want to start off, or maybe actually let's do some background on your life.
All of it?
So,
oh God. Okay.
Yeah, where you're from and then your sisters and how you got into it, yeah.
So I'm 27. I'm from Connecticut. We're all from Connecticut. I went to Syracuse also and moved to the city right after. I identify as a lesbian, came out in 2018, right after I graduated college. And me and my sisters have a food, Instagram, TikTok, social situation that we have been slowly growing since we started our Instagram in 2015, but
you're like us, yeah.
Yeah. You were
grinding
from the beginning.
Yeah.
And then the age of reels and TikTok, video content, we started really getting attention for just our opinions on food and there you go. And then in the meantime, I also went to law school and passed the bar. So I'm also a lawyer.
We love. Lawyer queen.
Well, officially in a week, I'll be a lawyer.
Oh my God.
I'm getting sworn in soon. But
that's so exciting.
I'm excited.
And I feel like that's also been a journey for you, the lawyer stuff.
Oh yeah, coupled with a rough breakup, that was a tough. Yeah.
Yeah. So going back to when you guys started the food account, where did that come from? How did you decide to start? Were you guys always passionate about it?
Yeah, I'll say it started with my sister Madison, who just loved food and the Food Network and diners, drive-ins, and dives. So as the little sister, I would just come and watch TV with her, and she was like, well, we're watching Giada, and I'm like, okay. So I didn't
get used to it.
I didn't get to use the remote, you know. I'm sure that was you, and Chloe was like, I guess we have to watch whatever.
Chloe took the lead, you know Chloe.
Oh. All right, role reversal. But what was Chloe watching?
I don't know. Lazy Town.
Good Big Sister.
Do you remember
Obviously, I remember Lazy Town. Julia was watching the same.
Yeah, she was watching all those weird ass TV shows that were so good back then.
I forget. She was the baby.
Yeah,
so it was precedent.
Freaking Wonder Pets. I'm talking
what a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that with Julia.
It
would save the world. It was a guinea pig and a turtle. Wow.
So yeah,
TV's come so far.
I know. Chloe took the lead on that shit. But okay, so you guys started the account, and then when did you Like how consistent were you going until you actually saw growth?
So we were like, we all had different jobs. I worked at a talent agency out of college. I was in the mailroom. I was like doing that shit. Can we swear?
Of course, yeah.
Great. And then
Very much so.
And then Madison and Sarah my older sisters both had different jobs. We all moved home for COVID, and that's when everyone was on TikTok. We were like, let's make a sister snacking TikTok and just start making like stupid videos, stupid, funny, cute, like cooking, but then also like, remember in COVID when people were doing those dinners, like themed dinners to like
Oh my God, yeah.
stay sane?
Yeah.
We were doing those, like
No
dress as a
way.
celeb and come down at like 7:00. And we did that. And then like some of them started blowing up, like Madison making her chicken cutlets and like what we were doing for dinner. And then we started posting about takeout restaurants in Connecticut. That blew up. We were literally like keeping restaurants open in Connecticut.
Oh my God.
Like these small restaurants that we would go to and like try their like famous paella that was a takeout option. And like, it was very pandemic era. And then I moved back to the city. Madison moved back. Sarah moved back. We all were like, wait, we've been posting about these restaurants forever. Like Coat, like the OG, like New York City restaurants. We were like, no one's making videos about these. So we started making these videos and then things really picked up from there.
Yeah.
And then since then, in the last year, Sarah quit her job, Madison quit her job, or everyone started doing it full time. So then when I graduated law school, I was like, I could go get a job as a lawyer or I could do this and figure it out. And so I'm doing this full time, content creation full time. And I'm opening like a small practice for influencers to do contracts for.
Wait,
so,
that's insane. I didn't know that. I will be using you.
starting slowly.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's such a good way to combine the two. But it's also crazy how, like, I feel like a lot of us started during the pandemic. And fast forwarding to now, even though you guys are a group of people, you're still able to all monetize off of it and make a living off of it.
Yeah. Listen, there's no sister snacking PJ, but maybe someday there will be a jet with our
I'll
logo
take
on
it.
the side.
I'll, as long as I get the
Not
invite.
today. Oh yeah. Me and my girlfriend actually, when like her and her family are mad at each other, they go, "You're not invited on the yacht." So like it's like an honor if it's like you can come on the jet.
PJ.
Yeah.
That would be a great honor.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to go back to when you were in college and kind of get away from the food stuff and talk about like personal stuff now. So when you were in college, obviously you said you came out after. What was that like? And like, were you in relationships before? And like, take me through that.
Let's get real.
And yeah, when did you know?
So very interesting. I know a lot of people like have a similar story. But I've known since I was like very young.
Okay.
Like I always like knew something that I like didn't connect with guys or like feel this way about guys, that like all my friends would be like, "Oh, he's so cute," like when we were like in middle school or whatever. And I always like really like respected like female relationships and like just like I cared so much more about like friends that I liked than like chasing boys. But I grew up in a town that like, and when we were growing up, I don't think it was the same. It was not the same as it is today. And so like, I think I just knew that I couldn't be different. And I, shoved something deep down. But before I did that, I had a best friend that we like experimented when we were younger. And I remember feeling so wrong about it. Like I was like, this is not okay. Like this is not good. I need to like have a boyfriend.
That's crazy.
It's internalized homophobia that a lot of people have.
Yeah.
So I shoved that deep down somewhere in the back of a closet.
Way far in the back.
Way far back. And then I went to high school and I like had a boyfriend or two. And I definitely like really liked the guys that I was with. Like I had like, I think 2 boyfriends in college or in high school. And I wasn't like lying. I wasn't like faking anything, but definitely like nothing ever felt like comfortable and like true. And then I went to college and, how do I put this? Like, I explored more than the average.
You can also, you don't need to, you can like be like,
Well,
blind.
if my mom listens to this,
okay.
but she knows.
However much or little you feel comfortable with.
I ran around Syracuse. You know, I was in a sorority. I was like, how do I want to say this? I was seeking in as many ways as possible how to be straight.
Okay.
As a closeted lesbian, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I feel like I had friends that told me they were, and I was like, really? Are you lying?
You're lying.
Okay, cool.
That's a like just universal girl experience. We are never reaching completion in straight relationships.
Until
you're
you're
like,
dating someone and you're like, this is how you do it.
Yeah. Trust me, it's wild. So after college, you take me through like actually now discovering yourself and what that was like.
So senior year, I think senior year in college is when you're like getting a brain, you know? You're like becoming a little bit more of an adult.
Yeah.
It was when I started thinking about like moving to New York, getting a job, having like an apartment. I was going to have roommates. Like it was getting closer and closer to being like, I'm not in this bubble of Syracuse anymore. And I felt like I could be more relaxed with like worrying about like gossip and like doing something wrong that would like literally fuck up my reputation, because in New York you can be anonymous, like you can do whatever you want. So I was inching closer and closer to graduation, and I remember like finally like letting the memories back in my brain. Like I remember being like, okay, this happened when I was a kid, like when I was younger. I liked it. I have not thought about it, and I haven't wanted to, but I started like uncovering. I started seeing a therapist when I was in senior year of college, and it was a slow progression of like, when I am ready, I will talk about this with someone other than a therapist. And I moved to the city. I started a job. I was like having the best like hot girl summer, first summer like on my own, and I made a friend at work at the talent agency that I was at who was like very openly a lesbian. Like I confided in her. I then started like practicing, like telling people, like literally like practicing at home. Like, and I at first did it with my roommates and like some close friends. And I said like, oh, I have a date on Saturday. And they were like, oh my God, you do? Who is he? And I'm like, actually, it's a girl. And that was how I started. And then I told my sisters the night before my 22nd birthday, and still in the summer in July of 2018. And it was like the most relief of a feeling. Like it felt like I was going to puke if I didn't say it. And I was sitting there and I started crying and sweating, and I was like, I just have to say it. And then they were like, there was nothing wrong. Like, and the biggest challenge was telling my parents. And that was just like a hard conversation, but it was hard because I made it hard. Like it was not, they were more than open, and they were so like accepting, and like they were like, that's it. Like my mom was like, that's what you're so worked up about. And I was like, it's not as easy. Like it was. So and
how did you go about that, like with your parents? Like what did you say? And like did you say beforehand like, I need to talk to you about something, and like set like?
Yeah, I literally went into my mom's room and I sat on her bed, and I was like, I was like crying already, and I was like, I just have to tell you something. I'm seeing someone, and it's a girl. And I was like crying. She was like, okay, great. And that was it. And I was just sitting there being like, that's it? Like, okay.
You're like, fuck.
Yeah, I don't know why I built it up, but I guess it's just, it was a long time coming, and
it's so valid for you to have built it up, especially when it was something that you knew and then you suppressed and then it came back out, and it's your parents. Like we put the most value, I feel like for me at least, in what our parents think of us, and we want to make them proud.
Yeah.
And there's still that stigma around that, like this is something that is, it's almost, and I can't speak for your experience, but like it feels like baggage, or it feels like something that you.
And like, don't you think making them proud, like making your mom proud, wasn't always like bringing home like a nice Jewish guy?
Yes.
And like that was
100%.
making them proud. And so it felt like I was like doing the opposite of that.
Yeah. And I've talked to my parents so much about this, just like what if. Because my parents are always very open, our family's very open, and they always,
You guys are so close.
yeah, so they always have made it a space, like, which is so nice. I'm like, sadly we're straight, but
Sadly to let you guys down.
sorry, yeah, no, but they've really always made it a space, like given us the floor if we've ever wanted to, which is a really nice thing.
Like at dinner, if anybody needs
anyone-
to come out right now, now is the time.
I'm not kidding. There have been conversations like that. My mom's like, "Are you sure?"
Oh my
'Cause,
God.
like, I haven't dated someone in so long. My mom's like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "I think for now, I'm
I think
sure."
I think I would know.
Yeah, like I think, I mean, I'll let you know if, but
Yeah.
So, but they've always given an open environment, but it is true that I think they go out of their way because there's the typical Jewish parent, or I think even in other cultures, other religions, it's a similar feeling
Yeah.
of like, there's just an expectation.
God, we all have to let that go. Mm-hmm. The internalized homophobia is like so old. We gotta
100%.
let it go, you guys.
I know. And I think, was that the hardest part for you? Like, versus telling other people, was it the internal, like, did it take you a long time to kind of still come to terms with that even after coming out?
Yeah, and so many people. If you ever have a friend come out to you, like you will notice they will not say I am gay.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Yeah.
Took me a while.
Mm-hmm.
Took a while to even say like, oh, I'm going to like a gay bar tonight. Like it takes a minute. And like, I know people that are in like good relationships and they're still like, oh yeah, I have a boyfriend. Like instead of saying like, I'm gay. It's a crutch until you're like strong and prideful, which
Yeah.
I mean, I've been out for 6 years now, which feels like longer. Like it feels like I've always been
that
out.
way. Yeah.
But it's crazy.
I get it, because I've had friends that have come out, and it's definitely a journey. Like, it's not like you wake up one day and tell everyone and then it's like a switch. Like, I feel like it's very gradual. And like, for someone that has a friend that just came out, like, what is, like, do you have any advice for like how to support and like just not ask the wrong questions, or like how to be there and be a supportive friend without overstepping, or
Yeah,
like,
that's such a good question, because I think it's so situational. If you have someone who just came out or you think they're going to come out, it depends where they're at. Like if they're in that period of like they are working on it themselves, don't fucking push. Let it, like everyone's journey is like so personal and so emotional. Like if someone outs you, it's like literally scarring.
Yeah.
Like
no,
so much trauma.
I can't even imagine.
So that in itself, but like in the after part, if you have a single friend who like just came out and is trying to like sow their oats in the New York City gay scene, like be like, I'll come with you to a bar. Like just having like support, because the gay community can be really lonely if you don't have friends. I know I like struggled with that in the beginning, and it's especially hard because most of the times they want to hook up with you and not be your friend. I've had a few situations where that's happened, and I was just like, I just really needed a friend right now. And so it's just sometimes it like just being supportive for like those events where they want to go out, they want to go do something, or just to, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so now moving into the city, coming out, and you start going out and stuff. What was that like, getting into the scene and dating? And
So I was on all the apps, and I saw this girl. We started talking, and I asked a friend, do you know this person? And she was like, yeah, my ex is her ex. And it was just like, there's so much.
And they were like,
connection.
welcome to the scene, and this is how it's going to be.
Yep. It's so small. And there's even more when we get to like the breakup stuff. There is so much more. Like when my 4-year relationship ended, I hooked up with my ex's ex.
Wait,
So let me know.
I'm like, my brain is computing.
My ex, who you know.
Yeah. Yes.
Her ex.
Uh-huh.
Her ex. I
Oh my
hooked up with her.
God.
So they dated and we dated, and then I went there, and she,
This literally reminds me, and I was saying this to you the other day. I'm like, I love like the lesbian TikTok drama. Why is this in real life? The drama is in real life.
I was such a cliche. I was mad at myself that I was a cliche. I mean, and my ex cheated on me with a girl who was like, who I know, who like we know,
Oh
like
my
was
God.
at our pride parties. Like, it's too small. It's like gross. Which is luckily why when I started dating Tessa, I was like, I need to go far away from here.
Yeah, you're like.
She lived in Connecticut. She barely was out. Like, well, she was out. She had a girlfriend before me, but like never lived in New York. She was not in the scene, and I was like, that.
Take me far away.
Yeah.
Yeah, the New York scene seems difficult. And okay, I want to get into your relationship, but I also wanted to ask you, did you feel like it was hard to fit in a box in the New York scene? Because like, and I know it's this way with a lot of my guy friends that are gay. Like, so I was wondering if it's the same way in like the lesbian world. And sorry if I'm saying that like
No, it's
dumb.
okay.
I don't know how else to say
What do you
it.
mean, like a box?
Like, I guess there's a certain cliche, like you said, or expectation, or you're supposed to only have lesbian friends, or like I know a lot of guys are like that.
Yeah, I guess I like always like did my own thing, and I very quickly was in a relationship when I came out, so I didn't really have the room to like go out with
Yeah.
like lesbians
Yeah.
and like make a friend group.
Yeah.
I tried. It didn't go so well. They're just like tight knit, and they like don't really let many others in, and like once you hook up with one and like that ends, like it just like they don't want you to be a part of
Yeah.
it. I was like sad because I just wanted to have like some gay friends
Yeah.
to go out with.
Yeah.
And like there was like a group that would like go out, and I always would be like, oh, I wish I was invited, because like individually I was like kind of friendly with all of them, but never got to like be a part of it. And then there's like there's a few different like I'm not gonna name names, but there's like
Yeah.
a few different like pods of like groups. There's like one group that they do all these like trips together, and it's like really fun, and they
my
like do all
God.
these houses upstate, and I'm always just like, that looks like fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like there's different groups. There's like cliques.
That's crazy. So that's what I'm talking about though. Like there's like these, it does become like cliquey.
Yeah. And
everyone knows kind of who the cliques are. And
Yes,
like, that's
yes.
wild.
Fortunately and unfortunately, I started in a relationship like very soon after. So I kind of isolated myself and was like, I'm just going to be in my relationship. And I also have like great straight friends.
Yeah.
Like, I have such good friends from college and from high school, like from growing up, that I go out with, and I spend a lot of time with my sisters, and I are so
Yeah.
close, and
Yeah,
I have
of
them
course.
too. So it's like, I didn't need another group of friends, but it was definitely like something that made me sad, because I felt like I was missing out on like that aspect.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna. There was one time I dragged my two straight friends to Cubbyhole, which is like the famous
That's my
lesbian
old
bar.
apartment. Yeah.
Oh my god, right there.
Yeah, it was. I literally, I would see the lines around.
Yep.
I'm like, this place looks fun. What
Yep.
the fuck?
Yep, I would drag them there.
Can we
and
go one time? Because I need
Fuck
to.
yeah.
I need to experience it.
We can go.
I want to go. I literally
It's
would
like-
watch the lines out the door every single day and be like, these people are having so much fun.
It's smaller than
Yeah.
this area of your apartment. It has like all these colorful things hanging from the
Yeah,
ceilings,
it's like
and the
tiny.
drinks are disgusting. You can get a vodka soda and
It
be
seems like that
what
kind.
is this?
Yeah.
But it's like, I think like $8, and it's, you go to meet gays.
Yeah,
Gay girls.
Prime,
But
like,
also
East Village.
now it's like all like gay guys, and I want to be like, you guys have plenty
Yeah.
of bars to go to. Let the lesbians have two. We have
Right.
two.
Yeah. What's the other? What's
The other one's Henrietta Hudson.
I don't even know what that is.
It's is it on Hudson? It's like also the West Village,
Okay.
but like,
So that was like literally my old stomping grounds. But yeah, Cubby Hole always looked so fun, and I was like, oh my god, I need to like go here one time.
yeah.
Okay, so we have to go together
One
so I can see
time,
it.
this is how crazy it is, Carly. You don't understand. When I had come out, I was like casually hooking up with this girl. We went to Cubbyhole after we like got drinks somewhere else on a date. We go to Cubbyhole. Turns out, this is before I started dating my ex.
Yeah.
We should come up with like a fake name for her.
Yeah.
We could use Susan. We could use Susan. Before I met Susan, I was on this date with a girl. We went to Cubbyhole after, and Susan and her girlfriend at the time were at Cubbyhole, and she said like, "Oh, I remember I saw you there," and it was like 2 months before we started dating.
Oh my god. It's like too small. It's too small of a world.
It's way too small.
It's insane.
Yeah.
But I'm not surprised because it's like it is such a small, tight knit situation.
It's exhausting.
So with your ex, like what was the story there? I mean, I know the story, but whatever you feel comfortable sharing, like what happened with that, and like
I can share it all.
Yeah.
Okay, so I met Susan on an app. We can use Stacy.
Okay, that's like the most classic, typical name.
Yeah, Stacy. Stacy's mom has got it going on. So I meet Stacy on an app. We start dating in October of 2018. We dated for 4 years. We moved in together to an apartment in Brooklyn. And I thought we were getting married. It was what I thought was really good. I thought there was like a lot of love there and a lot of good times. There were obvious like fights, and looking back now with a different view and a lot of therapy, a lot. It was not the relationship that I thought I was in. So we can talk about the downfall. So we had lived together for like 6 months. I started feeling very distant from Stacy, and it was like very evident. We had like a lot of weddings coming up. We had like a lot of plans for the summer, and Stacy worked a lot. And so the distance was like there, but like the fights were not amazing. But there was still like what I thought like a lot of love. And I thought like there's a point in a relationship that you get to where you just like are both understanding that like you are committed in this relationship. Like whatever fight happens, you know, at the end of the day, it's going to be the two of you, and you're going to figure it out, and you're going to get it back together and like move on. So I thought that that was the place that I was in, but I think a lot of lack of communication on my ex-girlfriend's end was that I was like so unaware of like what was happening in her mind. And I realize that now. Like I realized that she was like absolutely pulling away. She was not happy. That's why every fight happened the way that it happened, because she was not resolving it. She was not putting in the effort to like be like, okay, I love you. Like we can come back together and like figure this out. So like anytime I had a problem, it was falling on deaf ears. Like anytime I was like, that thing that you said like kind of bothered me and upset me, like it was just like a blowout, and I wasn't being heard. It was very upsetting.
She was done a while before it ended. Like,
I wouldn't say a while, because like, actually, I shouldn't say a while. A month before she broke up with me, we were like very happy and in love. And I remember it because we were at a wedding, and she like, there was just like a lot of tender moments that was like, you don't fake this. Like there's love here. Like we are in love. We've been together for 4 years.
Well, obviously there was a reason that she had stayed, and there was a reason. So it seems like she almost was like having those moments of doubts, but then there was still so much love there. And I'm not, so we'll get into the rest of it. But before I start with the rest of it, is that I don't think when someone cheats that it's like, you would have been together had they not met this person that they cheated with. I think it takes like a lot of back end for them to be in a place where like they would be talking to someone else. Right. So I don't sit there and be like, if she hadn't met her or like talked to her, we would be together still. No. Totally agree with that.
So I like to think the downfall was Pride of 2022. We threw a joint pride party every year that it was really my labor of love. Like she really didn't do anything. I planned everything, and I got like sponsored food for her sister's snacking, and it was like I found the bar. Like she really just showed up. And we invited a lot of people. It was always a great time. Like everyone loved to celebrate love. And this girl who we had both known for a while, Stacy knew her longer than I did, because this girl went to college with Stacy's younger brother. Yeah. And she had been at our pride parties previously. And we had seen her like at different bars and whatever and different times, and like we were both friendly. We were all friendly. Like it felt like I was a third wheel to them on that Pride night.
Interesting.
And afterwards I had heard like her friends through the grapevine, her friends told me like we had to pull Stacy away from this girl. Like Carly was like looking for her, and like all these things came out after when I like was putting pieces together. From Pride on, there was like many nights that she was like, oh, I'm working late, and then her Find My Friends was in Kips Bay in Murray Hill, and I'm like, why, like, where were you? And she was like, we had a dinner. I'm like, where did you eat? And she's like, I don't know, some restaurant. And never in our relationship had she ever not known what restaurant she ate at. And I just, like, I trusted her. I thought we were getting married. Like,
That's crazy that
like
she
I
just
took it at face value, and I was like, okay. And I just like got in bed.
You just genuinely didn't think anything of it. Because if it was me, like, but I guess you really truly had that trust. Because how can you not?
Which is
like,
sad.
How can you be like, it's not, but that's how it should have been.
That's how it is. And I mean, in my relationship now, like I take it, I go, okay,
right.
I trust you, like with my life.
Right.
So, that like I let be. And then there was like other times, like a few other nights, like my birthday, she worked all day after we like went to Fort Charles with my sisters for my birthday brunch. And then she was like, I'm going to work all day. And she spent the day at her mom's apartment. And like I just like later knew like she was with her all day.
On your birthday?
It was the day before my birthday. And then on my actual birthday was like a Monday. So she was working all day and didn't come to my birthday dinner. Sorry, I'm not getting choked up. I just can't talk. She didn't come to my birthday dinner, and she worked late. And then I remember I came home and was like, can we like hang out? And she like, it was like, I got like 10 minutes of like converse. It was like it was so sad. So
did you know in that moment, like,
I just felt like maybe we just needed a reset.
but you
Again,
didn't think
like,
it was over?
no.
You were, okay.
We had a lease together.
Yeah.
We had a credit card together. Like, what?
Yeah, you were like, we're based.
Oh,
and
I was her sister invited me to her bachelorette trip, and we didn't get to that point, but I thought she was going to ask me to be a bridesmaid.
Oh my God.
I was in her group chat like for like, it was crazy. It was crazy.
And from the outside, I didn't know you for that long, but I always thought, they're getting married.
Everyone did.
I like now a doubt in my mind.
Everyone did.
So I understand.
I did too. We like talked about rings. There was like, anyway, so what happened was, this is how it all crumbled. I was going to the Hamptons that weekend right after my birthday. And she was like, I think we just need some time, like a reset. And I was sitting there being like, I was like very upset, but I was like, okay, if this is what you need, like understood. We can just like not talk for the weekend. Like she was going down to the beach and I was going to be in the Hamptons with friends. Okay, fine. We separate, and we like didn't give guidelines. Like there was no like what you were allowed to do or not allowed to do, but like to her, which I know now, to her, we were broken up. So I left for the Hamptons, and I see her location at a bar near our apartment in Williamsburg. I'm like, why are you at a bar right now?
Why to her were you broken up? Like,
she thought like the conversation of communication was just like so low, and she thought the space meant we were done, I guess. But like I was coming back on Sunday night. I guess in her mind, I think she was like, you're going to come back and I'm going to break up with you. And like, I think she like really believed that like I was on that page. I think she must have convinced herself that I was like understanding of the place that she was at, but it was never communicated to me.
Right. How would you have known that she was even in that place? It just,
I mean, I knew, we had a conversation. She was like, I just don't feel how I used to feel about us, but that's normal in a committed relationship. Like not every day is like honeymoon day.
Right.
And okay, we're committed to each other. Like you need a little reset. That's okay.
Yeah.
And I thought that.
Yeah.
That was my mindset. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to go to the Hamptons.
Yeah.
We're going to come back and she's going to have her time. She's going to be with her family. And then we're going to
Right.
come back and be like, all good. Or like maybe have a conversation about like speaking to a therapist. And then like we can work on rebuilding, and not rebuilding because like things were not on the ground, but it was just like a little crack that needed some spackle.
Yeah.
So I leave for the Hamptons. I get there and I see her location. We've been together for 4 years. Obviously, I have her location. She tells me she's at a bar. She said, I went out with this girl and some friends. They're in Williamsburg for the night. I didn't believe that for 5 fucking seconds. She's on a date with this girl. They went on a date. So I'm
no
freaking
words.
out. I almost left the Hamptons and came home to my apartment to unlock the key and sit in my apartment and wait till they got home. I almost did it, and I wish I did, but I didn't. Did you know in that
moment they were on a date?
She told me I'm with X's name, this name, and friends, and her friends.
So then, but now you know that's a date. But
it was a date. Well, because I read her iPad later.
Okay. Yes. Get to that.
We should get to that. So I get home on Sunday, and I came home early from the Hamptons. I was going to stay till like Tuesday. I came home early, and she was like, I'm staying at my mom's. And I was like, what? Why?
Yeah.
I'm like, why? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, I just don't know what's going on. Also, my whole weekend in the Hamptons, I was having panic attacks.
Of course, I don't blame you.
My friends like took care of me, and I was like, unwell.
I would be too.
You ever have a panic attack at Surf Lodge? Because I would not recommend it.
I know actually multiple people that have.
Oh my God, it was the worst night of my life.
That I would not be well. And I would have trauma from that.
Like fucking Taylor Swift could have been at Surf Lodge and I was having a panic attack for all I know.
Oh my God. Were your friends good about it?
So good. We all had like terrible weird nights and we all like they took me home immediately. My friend Emily, who is a saint, literally like put me in the bath and was like, we're going to sit here, and I cried and like I was also like fucked up, and I was like, oh my God, no. It was so bad. Ugh. So eventually I like begged her to come home. And her location like was like still in, there was like so many times that she was in Murray Hill that I kept being like, you're seeing this girl. You have been seeing her. I just like know it. And I accused her of it. And before I even knew anything, I like blocked this girl on Instagram, and I just kept being like, you are seeing her. And she's like, no, it's not about that. It's about like, I'm just not happy. And like, I'm just done with us. So she broke up with me, and I was like, leave the apartment. Mm-mm. This is mine now.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but I was like, you need to leave.
Yeah.
So as she should. So I could only stay there for one night, had a panic attack the whole night. All my friends like rallied around me, my whole family, like my mom rushed into the city the next day. Everyone picked me up, and just like if you want to see support, go through a very traumatic breakup.
Well, that's a good thing, because sometimes, I mean, it's not a good thing that you went through a traumatic breakup.
Oh my God, I'm so much stronger because of it.
That's true. And it, when you go through times like that, you see who is really there for you and who your exact support system is. So it's a really amazing thing, even though you went through that you had so many people rallying around you. Yeah, it was insane. I've like never felt more support and love. I was like homeless for a while because I had to like move out of that apartment, which was so sad because I loved that apartment, and I was like, I begged her to look in Williamsburg first because it was like where I wanted to go. Yeah. And anyway, so fast forward, the weeks are going by. I'm literally putting one foot in front of the other. I went home to Connecticut. I came back. I was staying with my sister, and we were still communicating in small amounts, like when it came to like apartment stuff. And we had this phone call that I thought was like really beautiful, where she was just like, I'll always love you. I'm sorry. She was like, she had a bunch of trips with her family. This is relevant. So it's always been my dream to go to Paris. And she went to Paris with her family right after our breakup. And I was like supposed to go on that trip, but I didn't end up like booking it, or they like kept it just the family, and I didn't go. But Paris was like something we always talked about, like her taking me. So there's these weird moments that like I would call her and she would talk to me, and like we were still fully screaming at each other, but then sometimes I would be like so upset, and she'd be like, how can I like be there for you? I'm sorry, you're so sad. And like
there was like a night she was at a cooking class. She was like, I'm at this cooking class with all my home friends. And then I see on Instagram, like, her lies were so not thought out. She said, I'm with all my home friends. And then I see her home friends who I am friends with, and they're all at the beach. And I'm like, God. Who are you? You're not with your home friends. Who are you with? And she like lied to me. She was with this girl.
You would think her lies are crazy because even before it's like she was just like, I'm at a restaurant.
They
I'm
were
with this
so
girl.
easy to corroborate. And so I just was so sick of like being fed bullshit. And like all of her family like texted me being like, we love you. Just like, it was really sweet. Like I like was breaking up with the family too. And it was so sad. But end of July, early August, I get home to my apartment to start either packing it, or it was like a time that I was doing like a swap. Mm-hmm. So like she was leaving. Mm-hmm. And so she said, you can come get like more stuff if you need. Fucking bullshit.
Yeah, for real.
Like, yeah, me, sure. Like I'll come like get another pair of underwear. Like my apartment.
Yeah, in your apartment.
And I'm like, her iPad's here. And I had this, I just in my stomach, I wanted to look at it. I knew her password. Mm-hmm. I went in. I read everything. I read every text between them. I read when it started, and I knew that she deleted stuff above it because I knew what happened above it. And she thought she was sly, deleting up until a certain day. But there was like, I forget how, but there was a way that I saw the deleted shit. And I knew everything. I knew she was sending her flowers like a week after we broke up. She got her a t-shirt when she was in Paris. And there's a photo of her on my bed with the t-shirt that says, I Heart Paris. In my bed, on my comforter, on my sheets that I paid for. In the back of the photo, my side table with my retainer next to her fucking head. Are you kidding?
I would.
Really?
I would be unwell. I would have like troops coming in.
If someone gave me a loaded gun, like,
no, I would too. I was close. I was so close. My friends reeled me in, and they were like, "You're not gonna. When they go low, you go high." Yeah. So see, I wouldn't want to go high. I would want to be out for death.
I wanted to go really low. There were a lot of things. I posted some TikToks that I got some calls about because those were low. Like, I think my ex's employer might have saw the one about like her cheating. Like I posted her all the time. Like I posted everything about my life. Like if you break up with someone with a following, that's really dangerous. Like you're asking for it. I'm sorry.
Just don't cheat.
If you cheat on her.
Yeah, that's a thing. Like that should be, come on, just don't cheat. Like,
I had some crazy thoughts. I was gonna contact this girl's employer. I was so close to.
Oh my God.
The mistress. Oh,
stop.
I was gonna show up at her apartment.
The mistress?
I like almost like went to the apartment like many times after I moved out and just wanted to be like best cherry on top. She's living there. She moved into my apartment.
She's still living there?
Yeah, and the girlfriend moved in. Yeah. So
damn.
So I'm better for it. I'm stronger for it.
Of course. But still, that takes a lot of strength and a lot of being like, okay, I'm just going to fucking chalk this up and walk away. Like, yeah. It takes a lot because our brain chemistry is fucking altered after we come out of breakups. Like, the anger and the emotions and the everything, like, you're not thinking straight. Like, you see red and you see, it's just a different.
I was seeing red.
Yeah.
So hard. Yeah. When I read her iPad, it was the most gasoline I've ever felt in my body. God. The adrenaline, I almost like destroyed the apartment when I moved out. I almost did so many things, and I wrote a letter. She had no idea I read the iPad, and I wrote a letter explaining I read everything, I know everything, like, and like, you're scum, like, to do that. Our 4-year relationship that we like thought we could look back on and be like, this was love, like. That's the sad part that I still talk about in therapy, that I don't have like a look back to be like this was good and it was good and it left it at that. Like, and I really thought that I was going to have that if we ever broke up.
It's always
she really fucked that up.
Yeah, things always come out. And also I feel like she took advantage of the fact that you really truly trusted her and
totally
and that's a healthy and positive thing. Like when you're in a relationship, you should have that trust when you have no reason to not. But she took advantage of that, and she was so nonchalant about the fact that she was just kind of running around doing whatever she wanted with no regard.
None.
For you or for anyone else.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
And the girl, I think about like what like she was thinking. Anyway, I'm better off for it.
That girl was single at the time?
She was single at the time. I'm friends with her ex actually. We bonded, we trauma bonded because she was really fucked up after finding out, and we trauma bonded and we became super tight.
Oh my God. And now those two can go be fucked up together. So
yeah.
And you just gotta like, there's a certain point where you just gotta wish them well and be like, you know what?
It's taken nearly 2 years. It's 2024, so it's almost 2 years that it has taken me to really come to a place of like a healthy thought, like a healthy feeling about that relationship and everything that happened. It takes so long.
Yeah.
But if I knew that Tessa was on the other side of it, I would do it 10 more times.
Yeah. Aw. So let's get into happy stuff now. So meeting Tessa, like what happened there, and were you expecting to meet someone so soon? And
fuck no.
Yeah. So like explain how this all happened.
Oh, I was so thirsty. I was like, I missed out on 4 years of dating girls.
Yeah.
And 4 unhappy, like not unhappy, like 4 years of like having like, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say mediocre.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say.
Yeah, I don't want to slander
of having mediocre experiences.
Yeah. I was ready to get out there, and I tried. I really tried, but then I meet Tessa, and it just fucking. I saw her on TikTok. I saw her little fucking cooking video, and I'm like, "Who is this? Who is this? She looks gay and she is so hot."
Yeah. This girl's
she could
fucking
turn
stunning.
so many straight girls.
No,
like
I literally like saw her and I was like, oh my God, because she has swag. She has so much swag.
She is so cool.
Like I'm like, oh my God, you're so cool.
She still gives me butterflies.
Aw, stop it.
She's so fucking cute. So I see her and I go to her Instagram. I'm like stalking her. I'm like, who is this? She says she lives in Connecticut. And she lives in the town that I grew up in. And I'm like,
oh my God,
I know every like cool
every fucking person.
Who is an influencer cool lesbian in Connecticut? What? Who is she? So I text a mutual friend. Oh, we played like a little game. I like followed her. She followed me. I hit a like. She hit a like. It was just like back and forth. And then I text this friend from high school. I'm like, who is this? You follow her. You know her. Like, what's going on? Is she straight or is she gay? And is she single? And the girl's like, oh my God, she's recently single. She is not straight. You're right. She, like, I know her from my college roommate. It's her cousin. I'm like,
oh my God.
Should I, like, hit her up? She's like, I think you could just, like, DM her. I think she'll answer. And I'm like, okay. So I hit her with a hey. And she answers, and we have this like little conversation. And Tessa, you said she has such swagger. She gave me fucking breadcrumbs. She was like, what's up?
Oh my God.
I'm like, you ever in New York? She's like, not really. I'm like, please give me something. I'm trying to hook up here.
Do you think she like didn't know?
She knew. She just knew that I was this little like bitch girl, that she was like, I know who you are. I know Sister Snacking.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to come to me, like, come to me.
Oh my God.
She just was playing it so cool. And like, she did it so effortlessly. And she left me with, well, if you're ever home in Connecticut, we'll go out.
You're like, I'm trying.
I'm like, fuck, I'm not going home anytime soon. I don't want to go home. I want to be in New York. So I go, I think I said like, oh, because I already said like, if you're ever in New York. So I can't be like, well, if you're in New York.
Yeah.
So I can't repeat that. So I said, okay, well, till that happens, here's my number. And I left it.
Okay.
Well played. She texted me.
Well played.
She texted me, and I'm literally going like, she texted me. she texted me something about like where, like, what are your favorite restaurants in Connecticut then? Like, you're the restaurant queen. We started talking, and it was one of those conversations where neither of our bubbles were like leaving the chat. Like, I'd answer and she started typing. So I'm like, we're sitting here, and she goes, LMAO, like, we should just FaceTime. This is the first time we have texted.
Oh my God.
And I am so bold. I have nothing to lose.
Yeah, of course.
I hit FaceTime. She picks up. I'm literally in my pajamas. I had my retainers in. I took them out when I hit FaceTime.
Stop.
Swear to God. It was the last night that I was in my old apartment in Williamsburg too.
Oh my God.
It was the final night. My shit was packed in boxes all around me, and the movers came in the morning. So I'm sitting there. It was just crazy. So I'm on the phone with this girl. We start talking, and she's like, we're just getting to know each other. And it was so weird because I'm like, I don't know who you are. And I'm sitting here in my pajamas. Like, I'm wearing like a large Knicks tee and like I'm fucking serumed up.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh my God. And she liked it. And we just started talking, and we talked until the sun came up. We fell asleep it was so lesbian. It was so gay. We fell asleep on the phone. We woke up. I woke up at like 7 when the movers were coming, and I was like, you have to come get a coffee with me. She's like, I'm coming for the walk. Like, she woke up. Like, we didn't hang up. It was crazy. And I said, I'll hang up. I'll call you when I'm done moving. So I moved out, and within like 3 days, she came to visit me.
Oh my God.
She drove in one night, came to see me, and we spent like 6 days together straight.
Stop.
It was like a 6-day first date.
Oh my God.
The rest is literally history. Like, she is the most like kind, like the biggest heart I've ever met. And she literally taught me like the bare minimum. Like, she would do the most bare minimum things, and I would start crying. I was in like I was so mourning. You were so
raw.
unwell.
You were, yeah.
And she was the most patient. She was literally like so there for me when I'm literally getting over someone. Like, I'm crying in her arms about another girl for months. And she was just there. She was like, something good is here, and I like love you, and I'm not going anywhere. And so she's amazing.
Stop. That's like another level to be able to comfort you when you're going through that, but still while you're falling for someone, like, that's not something you hear every day.
No.
Like,
and I was falling for her. It was much slower than she felt for me. She just like, had an open heart at the time, and I didn't.
Yeah.
So I was just open to like not pushing her out when I was like still grieving, and it worked out. And she, like, my favorite saying that she taught me was, when you learn to lick love, sorry. The saying she taught me that I love is, when you're not spoon-fed love, you learn to lick it off knives.
Huh.
And I went from licking love off knives to being like poured, like, deep-throated love by her. Oh my God. And so, yeah, people have no idea. They just see her like making fucking short rib pasta, and they don't understand the girl behind it. And it's like, I know it's like a mystery, and I'm like, she's gonna get mad that I'm literally like spilling the tea that how she's amazing, and she's gonna be like, Cass, like, you're ruining my vibe. Sorry, baby, I love you.
You're ruining the vibe. No, but she does. She has an energy about her.
Yeah.
Like, and you guys together, it just is so, it like coming from, if you guys want the tea on their relationship, no, I just feel like seeing you guys together, it feels very comfortable and like home, and like.
And you saw me before, like, so
I did.
Like, do you remember when we were at the Vibrel event? I was like, oh yeah, she got me, cheated on me, and you were like, what the fuck? And I was like, I don't know.
I've never been so shook in my entire life because I just thought that was it for you. I thought, like, I would literally talk about it with my family. I'm like, I'll be at the wedding. Like, I literally thought that was.
You'll be at this one.
How fuck yeah, I will.
Well, we're not gonna have a big wedding, but you'll see what we do, and it'll be fucking iconic, and you'll be there.
Oh my God. No, yeah, you guys are just, you seem just comfortable, and there's so much love.
There's so much.
Yeah.
There's so much, and like, it's just like so good.
Oh.
And I really think that people need to understand that if you are on a path that is not meant for you, God is literally going to shove you the fuck off of it. And that's what he did to me, because I was sitting there like complacent. And there were times I was like, I think I deserve better. Like, I think I deserve better treatment and like more in my last relationship. But I was like, we're down this path. I'll be happy. Like, it's okay. And I remember I would convince myself, like, this is the rest of my life. Like, I have the tools to like know how to just like make myself happy, which is so fucked up. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't
it's like
do that.
You're trying to convince yourself that like it's almost like it's a coping mechanism. It's like
Yeah.
you.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
And I started therapy like right before my breakup. And she literally reminds me every time. Like, we had a session yesterday and she's like, do you remember when you first met me and you were like, I have to make myself less emotional to make my girlfriend happy. And she was like, I remember I opened the call and was like, no,
Yeah.
what? Maybe there's something else going on.
Yeah.
And I like couldn't believe that like I'm like very strong and very smart. I couldn't believe I made myself so small for someone.
But it happens to everyone because that's what love will do to you. Like, I think you also convince yourself like the idea, you love this idea of you guys as a couple, you love this idea of this person, and you build it up, and so it's like,
And the family, like I was very close with her family, and
of
like
course,
I still miss like it's sad because I had no problems with any of them, and like
Yeah,
it
of
makes
course.
you break up with the
family.
family. Yeah.
I know, and that's a huge part of it too. But it's like, but it's what you said. I think it's always there's something better for you, and
There's just a path that you're meant to be on.
Yeah.
And if you're not on it, you're going to get shoved. And it might fucking hurt, but it's for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When someone's first, just like a little piece of advice, like when someone's first going through that breakup in the beginning and they feel very lost and like, what do I do next? Like, do you have any advice of kind of what you did to pick yourself up? I know
Yeah.
you said you were going through the motions, but
There are definitely stages, and I actually know someone going through a very similar time, and it's brought up a little bit of trauma.
Yeah.
It's brought up a little bit of PTSD and
Yeah.
like a lot of remembering when I've been giving her this advice. But the first stage, you just have to put one foot in front of the other and feel everything. Just cry. Like, you have nowhere to be, you have nothing to do, and just be. Eventually you will say, I need to stand up. And then eventually you will need to go, whether it's work or school or go get food. You need to go do that. And slowly, life will feel like this is life again. And you will learn to be without that person. And the distance from the trauma to like where, like one day you'll look up and be like, it was a month ago. And then it'll be a year. So you have to just do the natural things as like a human to like keep yourself fed, keep yourself bathed, clothed, like those things. And like maybe a little retail therapy, maybe a massage. I went to Rescue Spa like within a week. I was like $400 facial. Yes.
I deserve this.
I deserve this for no reason. I'm unwell. What else? But the stages are real. Like when you're mourning, there's like, what is it? Like grief,
Yeah, the stages of grief.
sadness,
Yeah.
anger.
Yeah.
Anger's the best one. Go be
Yeah.
angry. Literally, go be fucking angry. Run around New York and yell "fuck you" to
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah, and look hot doing it. Like,
And look hot.
Yeah.
Oh my God, make yourself feel hot.
Yeah.
It feels so good to be like, wait, I'm so sick.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's a good feeling.
That is a good feeling.
And you might feel like shit on the inside, but it's going to do something a little bit. It's going to change a little bit and be like, oh wait, I look good. Go meet people. Like you look so good. Get your hair blown out. Just pay for it. Don't do anything.
Yeah.
Just go move your body to like the salon, the tanning. Like do like a few. You don't have to physically do anything but move. And
for real. It's the process. It's part of it. And I think so many people are going through breakups right now. I don't know why. What's in the air? I don't know.
Saturn return. I don't know.
Yeah, like something's, I don't know.
There's a moon thing.
There's the microwave.
Yeah, the microwaves are doing
Mercury's
it.
in the microwave.
Totally. And yeah, people are like opening eyes and like, I don't want to be in a relationship anymore.
Yeah. No, it is crazy. But
The Four Horsemen, I don't know, apocalypse, whatever.
something's in
New York
the air.
City's sinking. Venice is sinking.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
The
know.
world is ending anyways. It's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on and for giving your advice. And I think a lot of people are going to be able to relate to
I
it.
hope
And
so.
yeah, for real. Where can everyone find you?
Oh my God. So many places.
Plug all the places.
Sister Snacking on everything. car_shap on TikTok, Carly Shapiro on Instagram. That's where I am.
Love.
You'll see some cameos at lamb_chop97.
Yes, for
I'm there
sure.
sometimes.
I love the couple videos. Keep it coming.
I
This is
forgot.
what
We
I
were on
do.
a time limit. I was like, wait, are we done?
Yeah.
I forgot.
I mean, we could keep go. We could go for
No.
hours, honestly.
I know.
Also, if you guys haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give this a 5-star rating and review. I still can't do the outro right. Like I just
You got this.
every time.
Do it one more time. With some gumption. You got this.
Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Give this a 5-star rating and review. And you can follow us on Instagram at Real with CW and on TikTok at Real with Carly Weinstein. And we love you, and we will see you in the next episode.
Love.
Guys, we have a guest. Someone just knocked on the door, so let's get into it.
I can move over.
Yeah, Jesus.
Guys,
Sitting on your feet.
We're a couple now. Thank you.
It's easy, so she can't mix up our names.
Yeah, you can never call
I
it the wrong
actually,
name.
I made a mistake. I was coming in. I go, all right, I'm gonna go up to the apartment. He goes, Carly, and I was like, yeah, she's my girlfriend. And I was like, that's not the Carly he was talking about.
Other Carly.
Other Carly.
What a wonderful world.